Editing landscape photos is something that can be challenging sometimes because there's so many different ways and vibes you can go with doing your styles. But equally, sometimes you might find yourself a bit limited, such as with this photo here, where it's taken on quite a stormy day. There's not a lot of color going on. It's already very washed out. So what can we do with this? There's not a lot to work there. And this is where I like to use cinematic style presets, where you rely quite a lot on the color grading to bring in additional color into the image and actually create a vibe or style here. So I thought we'd take this one today, and we're going to demo one of my presets, which is from the cinematic landscape, and you can find all of those in the link below. I'm going to take you through how to build this style of edit up and a couple of the choices in the tools. So if you find that interesting, stick around and let's get into it. So my ultimate aim is to end up with an edit style like this, where I've really gone overboard for a cinematic blue vibe with it. Because there's not much color going on, I felt like having a nice cool theme to this would work really well and almost make this look like something out of a movie. And if we go side by side, you can see what that looks like there. So we're introducing a lot of blues and a lot of cool into the image. A bit more kind of contrast as well, but the focus around here is trying to get that cool vibe. So that's my mindset going into edit. So starting again then, just gonna see by pulling the highlights down what's actually up in that sky, because you see it's not overblown, but you get this a lot when you've got an overcast sort of sky. Sometimes you do lose the details. So pulling those highlights down, we can recover, yes, there are a bit of clouds there. So we'll keep some of that in place. Next up, I do kind of the same with the shadows, and that's more to see what detail is there in some of these darker points on the mountains. I'm not too worried about losing contrast and things here, because a lot of that's going to come in with the tone curve. And then likewise, I'm now going to use my whites and my blacks just to flatten this image out a bit. Clarity is an interesting one. I always go back and forth with landscapes and find I do a lot of masking with clarity. I'm going to pull it up overall because I want this to be a bit more of a sharper, more aggressive scene. So I'm just going to boost it slightly here. And the dehaze I'm actually going to drop slightly. And the reason for that is it already has a bit of a misty vibe and I want to feed into that. Again, I can make some local changes with the masking later on, but for now, I like kind of the mist that's coming off the sea, so I want to exaggerate that a bit. And because I know my contrast is sort of quite low with this, I'm going to leave this alone and see what I can get out of the tone curve. And I'm going to leave my vibrancy and saturation alone for the minute and jump straight into the tone curve. Now this is a great example of the power of the tone curve, and I did post up a video earlier on in the week where you can check that out, which goes through this, all the different things you can do with it and why you'd make these decisions. So for today, I want to bring in potentially a bit more color, but mostly I'm looking at contrast and maybe fade in whites and blacks to help with that cinematic style. I also want to control the light a bit more as well, so I am actually just going to dip this down first of all and trying to find a place, because it's a bit too bright for me. I want it to feel more stormy. Okay, so that's a good start there then, and it's already started to bring some contrast but a bit more color. We can see this green's popping out. I feel like I want to take this a bit further though, and I'm going to make a setting that goes across our 3 channels, and then we'll revisit back up top. So after going through that, we've got a really nice kind of contrasted look on our image here. And I'm just going to pull myself back up to this and dip out some of that saturation that's been introduced, ready for the colors. But what I like to do with a lot of this stuff is just then raise the vibrancy slightly. So we're actually going to dip the saturation, but we're going to pull our vibrancy up a bit. Now's a good time to say, if you do like these, please check out the website below and you can get hold of some free presets for you to download and the ones to buy as well. Use the code YouTube10 and you will get $10 off the complete set. So that's looking a lot nicer, and you can see that's had a big effect, that we've brought in a bit of a cinematic style to the tone curve by coming across the channels as well, fading it out a bit. We've got our contrast in, this now feels ready to start looking at that color side. So I'm going to go down into my color mixer first, and then I want to keep some of those greens in there, but probably make them darker. I want the focus to be more on the blues. So with that in mind, let's tackle the green channel first. We'll push this more towards the yellows. We'll leave the saturation alone, but we'll also pull the luminance down. Do the same. We'll do the same with the yellows as well. We'll just push more towards an orange. And I'm going to dip that down. You can see that this is actually the channel that's making up a lot of that shrubbery that's on the mountain here. So I'm just going to pull that down, not lose it too much. And I'm going to dip the luminance on that as well, just to really give that a bit more of a moody look. So if we turn it on and off, it's just not standing out as much because I don't want it to be the focus. I want it to blend a bit more into the mountain there. Mountain, hill. I mean, I live in flatlands, so this feels like a mountain to me. So I'm now just going to run through the color mixer, look to see if there are any blues, make sure we bring those out. If there are any blues, to bring that out, and then do a kind of similar thing with the orange and red channels just to bring them down a bit. So just stopping at that point there, the blues I ended up just desaturating a bit, but again, bring the luminance up on those because there's some in the skies there. I've not gone overboard with this because a lot of my color is going to come from color grading. This was more just to control a bit of that green that's in there and really just consolidate everything together. Because I'm wanting a bit of a blue wash over the final, I don't want too many like distracting elements or colors coming in or mixing with that. So this is something that, again, I do a lot with landscapes. I tend to pick a theme of a color and stick with that because a lot of detail and a lot can go on with landscapes, and quite often compositionally having a focus color can help you, like somebody in a red jacket on top of this hill, for example. But the rest of the colors can help sometimes to pull them down towards one color, just so everything looks a little bit more unified. Now let's just go up to the calibration because there's still something I'm not quite happy with up here on that. I'm just going to see if I can tweak this. I don't want it to be too red, and I feel like I'm just seeing elements of like a pinkish hue showing in this area here. See, now that's going too much towards like an autumn vibe. So let's go the other side. There we go. We're starting to get this into the green. And just try the side. I get too much green. Just want to really edge off of that a bit more. There we go. Very, very subtle changes. It might not even come across as much, but it's just getting rid of this. It's just a pinkish hue I didn't quite like in there. So the calibration has helped to remove that. So now for the fun stuff, this is where the color grading comes in. And I will have a separate video coming up soon on the color grading, but there is one on the channel you can check out about how this tool works. And I'll be putting one up on different types of color grading I tend to use to get different effects. Now for this one, we want a blue cinematic. Quite simply in landscapes, blue cinematics, because it's slightly different to how I would do it in street photography. Bring in the blues into the shadows. So I'm just going to bring that in there and very much find the hue I want. See, this can work, but to me it's just a little bit too green. I want it more towards the blue there. But if you go too far, then you get that purple hue coming in. So it really depends what you're after, but I feel like that's just about right. If I pull more of them in, you can see it's more of like an actual cool blue, not aqua-y. But if you went round to the greens, it does start to give you more of that vintage filter. So I'm going to back off that to a good saturation level. And we're just going to shift the balance up a bit more there. So it's looking good, and now I'm just going to go back up on some of these more blue channels and just see where things are hitting. I think we're going to come down potentially the other side with the luminance there. And again, just see my saturation. I'm just going to reduce that a bit. Nice, so that's given us a really good sort of starting point with this. We've now got some additional color coming into the image. So final kind of things for our effects. Definitely going to put on just a vignette. Again, for that like cinematic, moody vibe, quite an aggressive like midpoint there. Feather, and just bring in a bit of that highlights one, just because we've got the sky up at the top. And with some sharpening as well. I usually like to mask this sort of out until I can kind of see the edges of the mountains, trees, etc. there. So it looks quite good. I'm just going to boost a bit more clarity and some final little touches. Now this is where I'll probably go back and forth and try and find that exact right blue, but for the sake of today, this is a great starting point for you. If you want more of that blue in, you could even go into the curves and try and bring a bit more in there. But most likely I'd recommend just going into the color grading and introducing a bit more. We could go into our midtones. If we put some in our midtones, a bit more blue and just sit around the same area, you can see how that as well has just helped add a bit more coolness to the image. If you take that away, you get more towards like a sort of steel cool gray blue. I prefer this at the minute, but you might want to bring more in. Have a big play around with the color grading section on this though, because it's where the power of these edits, when you've got an image in front of you that doesn't have a lot of color in, and you can bring some more in. Like I said, I will have a video coming up soon on some different combinations of these to get different results. So if that interests you, please do subscribe. Very quickly, type of sort of masking I might do on this image is very much darken from the bottom, try and angle towards where there is a bit of light. And just like a contrast reduce as well. And then probably a similar thing from the top, quite drastic and wide. Because it's very misty, I want to bring that mist back in. So I will add even more, or take away, add even more, take away. I don't want more haze. More haze, so whichever that is for this slider. But I will bring that in as well, so I get that misty vibe. And then very much going around the image, enhancing certain areas, taking away certain areas. Your shadows work really well here. If you've got some more areas, for instance, like on here, if you want to bring out the detail, you can go with the shadow. But I would run around all of this mountain and be very, very detailed with that, and perhaps some of the waves as well, just to put some highlights across the tops of here. A lot I can do, won't do it today because of where the video has already gone on. But if you like this, please do grab the presets below. There are some free packs there that you can get. And if you use the code YouTube10 on the complete package, you will get $10 off that as well. There's about 160 odd presets in, but the ones that I use every day. So check those out. I hope this has helped you, and I will see you in the next one.